Hey, this is Waylon. It looks like I haven't had coffee, but I've had coffee. I'm in my backyard in Boulder, Colorado. It's really nice to be home, home sweet home. I wanted to talk about a fundamental Buddhist approach to life and a fundamental Buddhist approach to anxiety or stress, which I'm going through, which you're going through, which we're all going through. It's just part of life. And there's two ways to approach it, both of which are rational and make sense, but only one of which really leads to relaxation and empathy and love and all that. So personally, in my life, I practice that all the time. I fail at it all the time. It's called a practice for a reason, like basketball practice. You miss half your shots or more. So it's not about top-down kind of perfection, like me lecturing you or gurus or whatever, but it is a practice all of us can do. Number one, nothing about this is Buddhist in a way that isn't Christian or isn't Jewish or isn't human. There's nothing patented here. We're all human. We're all dealing with the same basic dynamics as human beings. One of them is stress. Something happens, we freeze up, we don't breathe very well. I remember years ago I was rock climbing and one of the instructors who happened to be nearby, who was instructing children, said what people do typically when they're climbing is right before they make a big move, they go and they hold their breath. And he said that's exactly the opposite of what you want to do. You want to practice breathing through the big moment. So I think that's sort of the title or subtitle of this little talk is Breathe Through the Big Moment. Now you can say easier said than done. Of course, we all deal with serious psychological issues or trauma or deep-seated things, and that takes a different approach. But I'm talking about sort of surface, everyday stress and anxiety. You're speedy, you're not getting enough done, you're lazy. From a Buddhist point of view, laziness is a reaction to busyness where you want to take a break, but you tune out in a way that isn't actually relaxing. So all of us, when we put our feet in the little creek and we look at the leaves in the sunlight and the dogs playing and neighbors are talking, that is relaxing, right? Or going for a hike and breathing, that is relaxing. Or having a good talk with a good friend, a genuine friend, where they may disagree with you, they may tell you things you don't want to hear, but fundamentally that is relaxing. Whereas just kind of tuning out and laying, as I often do, like at 45 degrees on the couch and just watching crap TV or, kind of avoiding what we have to do and just being kind of confuddled in our brains. Our brains are a big swamp, a morass of vagueness. That is actually not relaxing. It's just the other half, busyness and laziness. Busyness is, we can Swiss cheese it, right? We can put moments of space in our busyness. So whenever we're busy, you can just take a moment and look at a leaf. You can take a moment and look at a detail of architecture or even a piece of trash on the subway floor. Just take a moment and really look at something. Look at it, your fellow human being. Really look and stare at something for longer than a few seconds. And typically what happens is you get very present with that thing. And then your mind flips out of your busyness and your mind becomes present. And that is where insight happens. That's where breakthroughs happen. That's where joy happens. That's where genuine sorrow happens. And why is sorrow a virtue? Because crying or opening up, feeling vulnerable and messy and raw, if we can stick with it and rest in it, is how we heal. And instead of lubricating our life with alcohol or drugs or speediness or doom scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, we can engage in our life directly. The fundamental Buddhist approach to stress and busyness is to lean into it, is to discuss it, is to be open about it, is to meditate and train our mind again and again to come present instead of being wrapped up in our storylines. There is a place for intelligent contemplation and thinking, but it isn't the kind of habit trail round and round and round and round storylines. We can sink beneath that. Like surfers, when a big wave comes, they often will dive beneath it. And the ocean's still right there. We've all heard these analogies, but it's practical, it's pragmatic. We can meditate every day, take a good posture. Sorry about the sunshine, it's beautiful, but bright. We can take a good posture, eyes open, find our breath. when you find yourself thinking about something, big problem, small problem, you want a cookie, you want to murder someone, big problem, small problem, doesn't matter, you just label it. I'm thinking, I'm caught up in my thoughts. Thinking, return to the breath. So one thought is good, one thought is bad, but we're not getting into that. We're not saying all thoughts are fine. We're just saying, oh, all thoughts are thoughts, labeling it thinking, returning to the breath. All presence is presence. So the other way to go about stress or busyness is to try to stay positive. There's a fundamental positivity to life that is healthy, but that does not include ignoring suffering or ignoring stress. We can be positive, we can be proactive, we can engage, we can ask for help, but that doesn't mean that we want to ignore our own stress. So breathe into it, take a gap, engage in it, ask friends for wisdom. Don't try to avoid it. Don't try to suppress it, because that just makes it kind of almost more scary. So I would say reality vibes only instead of good vibes only. So I hope that's helpful. Try to rest in reality and breathing, in empathy for yourself and for others and our planet, instead of just kind of pushing away or suppressing. And that is the fundamental Buddhist approach to reality.
Don't forget to remind them to eat bean burritos.
Eat bean burritos.
Yeah.
Despite what RFK Jr. said, beans are your friend. All right. Thanks, everyone.